Hello and welcome. You know, life at sea is a world of its own, right? It's not just a workplace, it's your home, it's your community. And that's exactly why the rules we live by are so incredibly important. In this explainer, we're going to open up the toolkit that makes sure this environment isn't just productive, but is truly safe and respectful for every single person on board.
Now, this right here, this isn't just some corporate slogan on a poster. Think of it as a promise. It's our North Star, guiding every single interaction we have. It is the absolute bedrock that our entire community at sea is built on.
All right, so let's start with that very foundation. Every strong community needs a core principle, and for us, it's a single, powerful idea that acts as a shield for everyone.
And that core principle is zero tolerance. It's a simple phrase, but it is incredibly powerful, because in the close quarters of a vessel, there is just no room for gray areas. It means some behaviors are just flat out unacceptable. Period. It's a clear, bright line that can never, ever be crossed. So, who does this protect? Well, the short answer is absolutely everyone. Doesn't matter if you're a seafarer, shore staff, a contractor just visiting for the day, none of it matters. Your rank, your gender, your nationality, your religion, irrelevant. This policy is a universal shield. It protects every single one of us, with zero exceptions.
Okay, so with that foundation set, let's draw some really clear lines in the sand. What does unacceptable behavior actually look like? Knowing where these boundaries are is just crucial for keeping everyone safe. First up, let's talk about harassment. We're talking about any conduct that's unwanted, unreasonable, and makes the work environment feel intimidating or just awful. This could be offensive jokes or maybe degrading comments about someone's race or gender. The bottom line is, if it creates a hostile feeling, it's crossed the line into harassment. Next, there's bullying, and the key word to remember here is repeated. See, this isn't about a single bad day or a one-off disagreement. Bullying is a pattern of behavior, things like constant unfair criticism, or maybe deliberately isolating someone. It's that repeated action that really creates a risk to a person's well-being.
And finally, we have the most clear-cut boundary of all: violence and assault. I mean, there is zero ambiguity here. This is any physical force, any threat of physical force, or any kind of sexual contact that isn't consensual. And it's so important to get this. The threat alone is taken just as seriously as the act itself.
So knowing the rules is one thing, but how do we stop these situations before they even start? Let's dive into the proactive tools that every single one of us can use to build a positive environment and prevent problems from happening in the first place.
You know, prevention really starts with awareness, and that's on all of us. As a community, we've got to look out for each other. So pay attention to these warning signs. Maybe a colleague who's usually talkative suddenly goes quiet, or they start avoiding the mess room. These small changes can be a big deal, and noticing them is the first step to offering support. And here's one of the most powerful tools you have, and it doesn't require anyone else. It's this simple phrase: "I am uncomfortable with this, please stop." It's not an attack, it's not an argument. It's just a clear, direct, and respectful way to draw a line. It lets the other person know right then and there that they've crossed a boundary. But, you know, prevention isn't always enough. When a boundary is crossed and someone doesn't respect it, we need a clear plan of action. And that brings us to maybe the most critical tool in the box: the safe, confidential way you can report an incident. On board, there's a clear chain for reporting, designed to get things resolved fast. You start with your head of department, your HOD. The logic is simple: keep the solution local and immediate. But what if your HOD is part of the problem? The system has a failsafe. You go up the chain to the master. And if the master is somehow involved, you go straight to the company. It's a clear, logical path. And this is the big question, isn't it? This is the fear that can make people stay silent. It's a totally valid concern, and the system is built specifically to handle it. So what do you do? Now, listen to this, because it's absolutely crucial. You are never trapped. You always have the right to bypass any part of that chain. You can go directly to the master, or you can contact management ashore, the designated person ashore, the DPA, or the port captain. There is always a safe path to make sure your voice is heard. And this whole system is built on trust. Here's how. First, every single formal complaint is officially logged. It creates a permanent record. Second, your report is handled with the strictest privacy and confidentiality to protect you. And third, access is guaranteed.
The contact info for the company and other authorities is always posted in common areas like the mess room. It's designed to be strong and transparent. So, you've made a report. What happens next? This is the final piece of the toolkit, and honestly, it's the most important. Let's break down the promise of support and action that gets triggered the moment you speak up.
0, this isn't just a number on a slide. It's the only number that matters when we talk about harassment, bullying, or violence. It is the absolute non-negotiable principle that drives every single thing that happens after a report is made.
And that zero-tolerance policy comes with a set of guarantees. We promise you that every complaint will be taken seriously, that investigations will be fast and fair. We promise, and this is a big one, that we have an absolute ban on any kind of retaliation. In fact, retaliation is a serious offense on its own. And of course, support, both medical and mental, will be there for you. You will not have to go through it alone.
And for anyone who breaks these rules, let's be very clear. The consequences are severe. Disciplinary action can and will go all the way up to immediate dismissal from the vessel and being reported to the proper authorities for potential criminal charges. This policy definitely has teeth.
Which brings us right back to where we started. Accountability is universal. No one gets a pass. This applies just as much to the newest person on board as it does to the most senior officer. There are no exceptions.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. Because a safe, respectful culture isn't just about a policy on paper. It's about what we all do every single day. It's about looking out for a colleague, speaking up, or just leading by example. So what's the one thing you're going to do today to help build that culture?